This is how an Excel file looks like. If you have an older version of Excel, that is 2003, 2007 or 2010, you may have noticed that as soon as you opened the file, you had 3 sheets over here. So I can add more sheets to my file in the 2016 version by just clicking on the plus. In the older versions, it's the default setting. So not much of a difference as such. Now an important thing to note over here is that these tabs are independent of each other. So you can do anything in sheet 1 without impacting your work in sheet 2 or sheet 3 and so on. Now let's talk about the naming conventions of these sheets. Supposedly I want to rename this particular tab or worksheet as it is called from sheet 1 to something else. I'll go to sheet 1, I'll do a right click of my mouse and this menu will pop up. I click on rename and now I can enter whatever I want to. Another thing which you need to keep in mind is in one Excel file, no two tabs or worksheets can have the same name. So if I want to keep the name of my second tab also as my work, Excel will give me an error. Let's see. Excel throws an error that the name is already taken, so try a different one. So in order to differentiate it from the first name, let's say I just add a numeric 1. Now because it is different, Excel is okay with that. There are some special characters also which you cannot use while renaming a tab or a sheet. In the document following this video, I've given a list of all those special characters, some of them being a question mark or a star or a slash. Now you may have noticed these boxes. These boxes are called cells. In an Excel file, you've got millions of cells. In a cell, you can input 3 different types of values. You can enter a text, you can enter a number, or you can enter a formula. Let's say for a text, I've got someone's name, Gary. For a number, let's say I've got his age, 30. For showing how you can enter a formula in a cell, I'll give you an example. I've got 5 employees, A, B, C, D, F. I've got their salary, $100, $200, 100 again, 50, 300. Now let me just convert it into dollars. We will be going through the formats in detail in the relevant module. Now let's suppose I want to find out the average income being earned by these 5 individuals. So for that I will use a function average. The way to call a formula in an Excel file is by first typing equal to and then the name of the formula, bracket open. Over here I want to find out the average of these 5 cells, bracket close, and I've got $150. So these are the 3 different values which you can enter in an Excel file. One thing you may have noticed that whenever I'm moving my cells from one location to another, this particular area keeps on changing. So right now it is J10. Now it changes to H5. Now it changes to M13, J12. What this area name box basically gives me is the location of the cell or the address of the cell. Right now it is telling me that the cursor is on column J, row 12. If I move on to column H, row 7, the address changes over here. In Excel, the columns are vertical and they are named from A. As I keep on scrolling down, they keep on increasing A, B, C, D, and so on. After Z, they go to A, B, A, C, A, D. If I go to the very end, it stretches all the way to XFD. In total, you've got more than 16,000 columns in an Excel file. All the rows are horizontal and they are sequentially ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I keep on scrolling down, the numbers keep on increasing, and if I go to the very end, this is slightly over 1 million. So basically you can have almost 1 million observations in your Excel file, which is a lot of data. Now, apart from the three different types of values which we can enter in an Excel file, we can also have charts, graphs, we can also import pictures in an Excel file. One final point on workbook or Excel files, you can open multiple Excel files together and can switch from one file to another, either using your mouse or there's a shortcut on the keyboard by pressing the Control key and the Tab key. Now with the introduction of workbooks and worksheets done, the next video will explain the top section of an Excel file. This top section is called a toolbar.